Patriots, all you hip-hop patriots out there, good to see you. The hip-hop patriot, Jeremy Harrell, coming to you live from the Live Free or Die state of New Hampshire on the Here We Go page. We have breaking news about the Dominion, everything surrounding Dominion. It's all really come to this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm literally canvassing media, trying to find if any of the mainstream papers, mainstream media, anybody is reporting on this, and they're not. But I'd like to give you some shout outs this morning. Nicholas Griggs, how you doing? Good to see you. David Murray, good to see you. Maria Popple, hello. Joy Bucci, Robin Boss from California, Pam from California, Raquel Love, how you doing? Good morning. Simon Nash from the UK, how you doing? Give me a share out there, will you? Monica Marie says, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. I usually like to get over 1,000 people before we start, so guys, please put this in your groups. I know we always ask to share, but hey, got to do what we got to do. We got to get the information out. I would like to first give a shout out to everybody in D.C. right now. I wanted to go to D.C. really bad. I did. All my friends are there. All the Patriots that we know and love are there, and I really, really wanted to get to D.C. I want to give a shout out to everybody in D.C. I want to give a shout out to President Trump, who said he's going to stop by today. Well, actually, he said maybe I'll even stop by. But, you know, I just wish I was there. I wish I was with everybody. I want to give a big shout out to all of them down there. And I also want to give a shout out to Harry's Bar and Grill. Harry's Bar and Grill, every single time that we descend on Washington, D.C., they host us, they accept us, they love us, and we love them. So I want to give a big shout out to Harry's Bar and Grill as well. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think we got enough people watching. It's breaking news, so make sure you get this out. Ready? Here we go. I got it right here. Ready? The U.S. government determined that all the Dominion servers, were involved in switching votes. Then the intelligence community began a search for the server and discovered that the server was placed in Germany. Okay? That's very, very key, ladies and gentlemen. The servers for Dominion were based in Germany. This ties into why President Trump fired Esper the other day. Everybody was wondering, well, what does Esper have anything to do with anything? He doesn't have anything to do with the elections. He doesn't have anything to do with internal, election fraud and stuff like that. Well, the reason why Esper was fired was because they needed to put an operation put together, and they needed the right people involved and the wrong people not involved. Okay? So the Dominion server was discovered that the servers were in Germany. In order to get access to the server and have it available for use in legal manner, they had to have the State Department work in tandem with the Department of Justice. You guys wondering where Bill Barr is? This is what Bill Barr's been doing. I'll read that again. In order to get access to that server and have it available for use in a legal manner, they had to have the State Department work in tandem with the Department of Justice. They had to request that the government of Germany cooperate in allowing this seizure of this server. The appropriate documents required to effect this kind of seizure were put in place, signed off on, and it appears that there was also a U.S. military support in the operation. The U.S. military was not in the lead of this operation. But this helps explain why Esper was fired and Miller and Kash Patel were put in his place, so that the military would not interfere with the operation in any way. Esper was in a position to where he could have had the military interfere with this because it was international. It had things to do with terrorism and counterterrorism. He had influence over the U.S. military and foreign affairs and foreign operations, and Esper would have been directly involved in making sure this didn't happen. That's why Esper was fired. All right, so again, they said Miller and Kash Patel were put in his place so that the military would not interfere with the operation in any way. By getting a hold of the server, Team Trump is now going to have the direct evidence of when the instruction to stop counting happened. They will also discover who gave the direction to stop the counting and who initiated the algorithm that started switching votes. And then it ends off saying this: the CIA was completely excluded from this operation. I'm going to put this in the comment thread below. Okay? So you guys want to know where Barr's been, where's Trump been? And when Trump said yesterday at his Rose Garden thing, when he's like, this administration will never, ever, ever do a lockdown. We'll see what administration is there. And he kind of smirked. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is going right here. When I told you this was going to come down to Dominion, this is not going to come down to votes and states' votes, because this right here, now that they're in the U.S. Army is in direct possession, okay, of the servers, the physical servers and everything. Like I said, like in this last paragraph, Team Trump now is going to have the direct evidence of when the instruction to stop counting happened. They will also discover who gave the direction to stop counting and who initiated the algorithm that started switching votes. And the CIA was completely excluded from this operation. It makes sense, doesn't it, that President Trump has been literally cleaning house at the CIA, the Pentagon, the DHS, the DOD. So, ladies and gentlemen, what this means for you and I is that all these votes, you wonder why President Trump's legal team pulled out of their lawsuit in Arizona. Don't believe the fake news. It had nothing to do with the fact that they didn't have any evidence. Had nothing to do with that. They're going to focus their teams where they think their teams are going to be most effective for you, the American people. That is why they pulled out of Arizona. They don't need the votes, ladies and gentlemen. They don't need the votes in Georgia. They don't need the votes in Virginia. They don't need the votes in Pennsylvania. They don't need the votes in Wisconsin. They don't need the votes in Michigan. That is going to still continue because there's already lawsuits filed, and what they're going to do is that's going to be the icing on the cake, ladies and gentlemen, because that's going to verify and validate all the votes that President Trump actually did get and all the votes that pedophile-elect didn't get. So that's going to only further prove that that nobody wanted him to be president. But those aren't going to matter in the end, ladies and gentlemen, because now that they have the server, the Dominion servers, going to issue that the entire election was invalid, that the entire election cannot be counted in any way, shape, or form, and they're going to push it down to Congress. President Trump is your president for 4 more years, like we've been saying. I've been telling you that Dominion was going to be the thing that took him down. Well, that's going to be the thing that takes him down. And if you need further proof, ladies and gentlemen, of this, Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell and Jay Sekulow are the ones that put this information out, along with some bureaucrats. If you go to it's not the whitehouse.gov. You can get to the link from whitehouse.gov, but you can go search this, ladies and gentlemen. Go find this yourselves. Like I said, I'll put all this in the comments below. But ladies and gentlemen, this is why these votes aren't gonna, the fraudulent votes and all that are not gonna matter, because you're not cutting off limbs at this point. You're going straight for the head. You're going straight for the head. Okay? Yes, we can trust Congress, Nolene, because here's the thing. According to the Constitution, if this gets kicked back down to Congress, I'll say this again, like I've been saying it, from the Supreme Court, then according to the Constitution, you have to vote party line. You can't break rank. Party line is party line, period. And we have a majority of the states, so we automatically have the vote. I mean, it's a no-brainer. What they're going to do is they're going to swap out the electors, and they're going to put the electors in there that go for President Trump. That's what's going to happen. So no matter what the fake news tells you, no matter what they're reporting, no matter what they're not reporting, this is real. This is real right here, ladies and gentlemen. Real. And they had to, think about that. They had to exclude the number one information spy agency on the planet. They had to exclude them, ladies and gentlemen. Our own CIA had to be excluded. That's the most telling thing about this, about where we are as a country and how deep the swamp really goes. We had to exclude pieces and divisions of our own U.S. government that would oversee this kind of stuff, because we knew that they would interfere. Isn't that crazy to you? To me, that just blows my mind. So when Sidney Powell was talking last night about releasing the Kraken, I'm sure you've all seen that, right? When Sidney said, "I'm going to release the Kraken," this is what she's talking about. This is the damn Kraken. Isn't that great news? So I didn't want to come on long. I'm not going to be on the rest of the day, so if you guys don't hear from me, it's okay. I'm spending time with my family. I'm going to go out. I'm going to do some Christmas shopping, because we're going to have another Christmas under President Donald J. Trump, and we're going to have 4 more under him as well, based on this information right here. And isn't it a shame that nobody's reporting it? I'm waiting for Newsmax to report it. You know what I mean? If I continue to stay a step ahead of you guys gotta hire me. You know what I mean? If I continue to stay ahead of you, you gotta hire me. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'll read this one more time before I go for the people who just joined in. President Trump and the U.S. Army is in complete control of the Dominion server that was based in Germany. That's where they found it, and they worked with the U.S. government. They fired the people that were in the last few days that would have been involved in hampering that in any way, that operation, and they got the servers. I'll read this one more time straight through. The U.S. government determined that the Dominion server was involved in switching votes. Then the intelligence community began a search for the server and discovered that the server was in Germany. In order to get access to that server and have it available for the U.S. legal manner, to use in a legal manner, they had to have the State Department work in tandem with the Department of Justice. They had to request that the government of Germany cooperate in allowing the seizure of the server. The appropriate documents required to effect this kind of seizure were put in place, signed off on, and it appears that there was also a U.S. military support in this operation. The U.S. military was not in the lead, but this helps explain why Esper was fired and Miller and Kash Patel were put in his place, so that the military would not interfere with the operation in any way. By getting a hold of the server, Team Trump is now going to have the direct evidence of when the instruction to stop counting happened. They will also discover who gave the direction to stop counting and who initiated the algorithm that started switching votes. The CIA was completely excluded from this operation. Boom! Thank you very much. Let's take a bow, ladies and gentlemen. Game over. Now, the TV and the mainstream media are not going to tell you that the game's over, and they're not going to tell you about this crap. They're not going to say anything about this. But here's the thing. When President Trump, I told you yesterday in my video, go back and watch it. I said there's a minimum of 500,000 votes and there's a maximum of 700,000 votes that should not be counted in Pennsylvania. Well, guess what happened 2.5 hours after I did that live? President Trump tweets out that thanks to the Constitution, that all the votes that weren't properly seen by both parties are going to be, according to the Constitution, thrown out. And he said that's 700,000 votes. We win Pennsylvania. Now, the reason why he's still going to go after these votes, even though they don't matter, is because he's going to put people in jail. Lowly people, mid people, people in the post office. He wants to put them in jail, and he wants to validate the fact that he's got the most legal votes in U.S. history because, you know, he's got a big head like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what it comes down to. Sasha, stay. That's what it comes down to, and I'm glad that I could tell you that. I don't know if anybody else has told you that, but we're releasing the Kraken. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow or the next day, more than likely tomorrow. But you won't see me the rest of the day. I'm going dark because I'm happy now. Have a great day. Check out my new music, Unleashed. It's available everywhere. Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Pandora, YouTube, wherever you want to go look. Check out my new music, Unleashed. And hopefully we're working with our legal team to get my new song distributed, Rebirth of America. And we all know the stuff behind that. MAGA like a mofo, ladies and gentlemen. Peace. God bless. Have a great day.